What is the purpose of an open house? You have a property that's just listed for sale, and you're asking yourself, what is the purpose of this open house? Like, what should you achieve on the open house? In our talk today, I'm going to definitely talk to you about a few important things that you should consider when you are doing an open house, and what are some of the objectives that you want to achieve in doing the open house. I'm Paul R. Atkinson, your professional coach, and remember, in the description, you could find tools that you can use to have a most successful open house and get that house sold. And remember, do leave a comment below, and also give this a thumbs up. So, let's talk about that. What's the purpose of the open house? There's several aspects of an open house. There's safety for yourself and for the sellers. There's a point of awareness. What are you doing with awareness? But we're going to talk about the most important part of the open house today, and that is for you to be able to get the neighborhood riled up, for one, and number two, for you to be able to get a good prospect for or from that open house to maybe consider buying it. So here's some of the elements that you need. Number one, you need to make sure that you're marketing the announcement for the open house 5 to 7 days before the event. So write that down. 5 to 7 days before the actual open house, you want to start to publicize that. It's very important. 2, you want to make sure that you've created a one-page flyer of all the things that you're doing for that seller. And there's a reason for that, so bear with me. Make sure you have a one-page flyer. And this one-page flyer, it should have your image, how you present yourself to the market. It should also have, obviously, your logo of the company. Yeah, that's required to be compliant. And a list of maybe, I would say, 5 to 7 things that you're doing especially for that seller. For example, obviously, you're going to list on MLS and it's going to have 700 syndications. That's a nice thing to put because many people don't know that. Maybe you don't know what that means. Syndications mean when it goes into the MLS, it will be spread all over to 700 different websites. That's amazing. And sellers need to know that. And buyers need to know that as well, right? So you have your one-page flyer that consists of that. Another thing you could do to tell people what you're doing for this one-page flyer is, for example, your app. Do you have an app that goes to your website to help the buyers or any seller or anybody interested in real estate to search even? Just keep going and find what your brokerage firm has and put the top 4 things that you feel comfortable with. So that one-page flyer, you're going to need that. Then you'll also need a detailed view sheet of the listing itself. Now, when you get this, I like to say you're going to do the P5, the Paul 5. And what you do with the Paul 5 is you take that one-page flyer and you take that detail view. And I want you to go around to 5 houses around the open house. And you're going to do that before the open house begins and again after. When you do this, when you knock on the door and you tell the neighbors, hey, you're doing the open house at this address, you could call the names of the owners because you already asked the owners permission to do that, number one. And number 2, you're letting the neighbors know that the house is for sale. And if they have any relatives or co-workers or friends that want to move into the neighborhood, they should contact you first, and here's all the details. And not only that, but if they're considering selling, here's my one-page flyer. So they go together like peanut butter and jelly. That's why you have a one-page flyer and a detailed view at open house. That is one of the objectives inside of doing open house, is for you to create more awareness around the open house. It helps the buyers and it helps the sellers. Very important. There's a lot more to this, but I want to keep it very, very short. When you're thinking about doing an open house, you want to make sure that you have some sort of people skills or selling skills. And selling skills is about you having the right mindset, for one thing. You should have the right mindset, the nuclear mind. And you can see that this open house is going to be a success because what you see and the way you see it can be the outcome of it. So when you sit back and get ready to do this open house, just kind of sit back for a moment and imagine that it's all going amazing. Everything that you're doing inside an open house is going amazing. That's very important for you to attract business to you. Obviously, you should have a sign-in sheet because you want people to leave their information. And of course, you need to have a little bit of a snack, so forth, if you choose to. You want to get the data from the people, their names, emails, and phone numbers. And you want to find out if they're working with a realtor or not. And if they're not, could you be their realtor? That is another objective that you want to achieve in the open house. You want to make sure that you pre-market it 5 to 7 days before. You want to make sure that you're going to door knock around with a one-page flyer plus your detail view. And you want to make sure that you're capturing the people as they come in the door. And finally, I want you to know, besides just having this mindset and this connection thing with people, it's all part of your selling skills. And they don't give us that in Schoolhouse. When you become a realtor, they don't give that to you. And you have to go get it on your own. So remember, think about your selling skills, your ability to help someone solve their problem. That's it. How do you do that? Well, for me, it's been the 5 steps to the sale. It's, the book. Yeah, probably in the description below you could see that, the 5 steps to the sale. It's a selling system that allows you to help a prospect, buyer, seller, go through the motions of getting what they want. It's not anything else but that. It's just to help the prospect get in what they want, what they need, and to complete their DBM, their dominant buying motive. Very important. So you have to have the selling skills. So I hope this was valuable for you. What is the purpose of an open house? It's for you to be able to get the house sold, yes, and you have certain ways of doing that. And it's for you to be able to get more prospects from it and help more people in the community. If you're going to do an open house, don't just think about yourself or that seller. You need to make the other people in the community aware of what's going on. What if they have somebody they want to move in and you can't put a sign up on the property? Sometimes that happens. You got to go around, knock on the door. Don't be afraid. And tell them and give them that one-page flyer and give them the detailed view and say, hey, listen, this house is for sale. Do you have any family or relatives that want to be here? That's important. 20 years I've been doing it to this time that you see in this video. And that always works to get more deals. So until next time, remember in the description, click on the link that's going to help you to be more productive in your open houses. And then give this talk a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Tell us what you want to see and what do you feel about what we talked about today. Until next time, I want to tell you, let's go get them, Tiger. I'll see you real soon.